Ayy, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What is going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Podium Podcast, home the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
It's your boy Melly Mac. It's 40 Keys.
Listen, while I got y'all attention really quick, if you notice the thumbnail, your boy Baz did it again.
Oh!
He done did it again, fellas. You know where that picture's from, though, right?
Huh?
You know where that picture's from, right?
No, I didn't. Is that high school or college?
It's college.
Ooh.
That is the 40-yard field goal, that the game-winning, go-ahead 40-yard field goal that he kicked against Eastern Michigan to win that game.
Eastern Michigan.
Against Eastern Michigan.
I like Eastern Michigan.
Georgia Southern
losses.
beat them boys because
I like
of
Eastern Michigan losses as a UB fan. I love Eastern Michigan. Let's pile them on.
Yeah. So listen, we got a lot lined up for the show. I got a question I need to ask you guys. Where do you guys want to start? You want to start with stuff we heard? You go get right into the post game? What do you want to do?
Whatever you want to do, brother. I'm open like a token.
I got some stuff. I say we get with the non-important stuff, and then we peter on down to the more important.
You know what
Let's
I
knock
love?
it out.
You know what I love about this?
What?
I have no agenda because I have nowhere to be after this. I don't care.
He
I have nowhere to
is
be.
officially on
Freedom
work today.
Give us free. Yes, give us free.
One more time for the get-go. All right. So, what you got, Mac?
All right, so less important to more important. Mm-hmm. So I have a grievance.
Oh,
should be
this is
good.
official.
Yeah.
I have a grievance.
Okay.
It's not football-related grievance, but I have a
Wow,
grievance.
okay.
I want y'all guys' input.
Does this involve Ken?
No.
Okay.
Why do you immediately go to Ken? Is he that bad?
So what is this month?
No, November.
Is it Christmas time?
Are we doing this? Steven, turn your TV off. Turn your TV off, Steven.
Listen, I just want to know.
You want me to lower his volume a little bit?
I just want to know.
Steven does, though.
I get it. Halloween, October 31st. And then you have Thanksgiving. And then you have Christmas. Right? I'm seeing all the videos, all the memes. Like, after Halloween, it's Christmas time. What about Thanksgiving? Like, where's the disrespect for Thanksgiving? Like, listen, like, all the holidays, like, people, you might have your decorations out for the 4th of July, Valentine's Day, St. Patty's Day, Easter, blah, blah, blah. But Halloween, so Halloween, you might get a whole month. October 1st to put them out there. Same thing with Christmas, though. Like, your Christmas decorations are out the whole month. Why do people need to start November 1st?
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Would you prefer hearing music about killing turkeys, or would you prefer music about old Saint Nick and don't go outside, it's cold outside? Which would you prefer hearing?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like, the Christmas music is banging. Like, I like the Christmas music,
Can't even
right?
sing that song no more.
But to me,
I know. the rapist song.
I know. But to me, I just like, can we just put some respect on Thanksgiving's name? Like, Thanksgiving is about family being together. Like, I love Thanksgiving, man. But it's not glitzy and grim. Like, we're going to decorate. Like, it's just, we have over family. It's a family thing.
An adult decoration for Thanksgiving. What is it?
Who knows?
Exactly.
Hang a turkey goblet around your neck or something.
You throw us up for Christmas. I mean, it's still Christmassy or Thanksgiving. It's the season. Yeah. I mean, no, I was at the McAdory household on Saturday when we had this conversation, and so I knew where this was coming. So, you know.
So when is the appropriate time to put a Christmas decoration for the Aramis house?
If you ask my wife, it's January 1st.
January 1st?
Listen, we still have snowflakes that she hung up from last Christmas hanging from the ceiling in our living room because our daughter said, no, please don't take it down, please no. Still hanging up. Not like it's so for me, I think the day after Thanksgiving is fine. I don't see.
I am the same.
Yeah.
Soon as Thanksgiving is over, pow, pow, pow. Go for it.
Yeah. Soon as Thanksgiving's over.
Soon as Yeah, as soon as Thanksgiving over. Because now it's time for the next holiday.
Right.
What's the next holiday?
Christmas.
His birthday.
Well, a holiday. Well, yeah.
There's a holiday. Stand up, my boy. Stand up, my boy.
So what about for the 40 Key House? When is it appropriate?
Well, you know what Ken said about it.
What'd he say?
He went over there. He was like,
Hey.
I know you guys don't want to celebrate my birthday. We're like, why? He's like,
My
sorry
man
to tell you
educated
guys.
me, man.
Huh?
He educated me.
He had the whole household on tilt.
He educated. He informed me of something that I did not know.
Which is?
His birthday's on Pearl Harbor Day. So he's like, I'm sorry, guys. We're like, yo, you had no purpose. You had nothing to do with your birthday. He's like, I know you guys don't want to celebrate such a tragic day in American history. Like, what?
He said it like that?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Now, don't get me wrong. I
incredible.
knew Pearl Harbor happened, but I
We
couldn't
didn't
tell
know
you which
the
day.
exact
No,
day.
I have no idea.
I do know now. It's December 7th. That is Pearl Harbor Day, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, his wife was in there, and we were like,
Holy cow.
it's still Ken's Day. It's still Ken's Day. So, what was it? So, in the chat, answer in the chat.
No, wait a
Answer the
second.
chat.
I just realized I got 22 missed comments here.
Uh-oh.
And my wife is one of them saying, day after Thanksgiving, Christmas decor goes up. No, it does not.
Yeah.
We have a bow on our front door. Already.
She forgot.
Already. It has
all-purpose
nothing
bow.
to do with Thanksgiving. Stop, my love. Stop.
It's not
Please
a Thanksgiving bowl?
Nah, it's all
No. No. Locked Rain says Mariah Carey states is midnight 11:01 and she's the queen of Christmas. Oh, my wife is saying that's from Allie. Allie's the one that put the bow up. So I mean, apparently Allie's in charge of our
We're blaming
decorations
child.
in the house. Huh?
We're blaming children now.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I have no choice.
We have to.
Mrs. McAdory says November 1st should be the day.
Oh God.
Yo!
Yo, you are defeated in your household.
Both the
You were
McAdory boys
defeated.
in the house.
That was
clapping.
that was resounding.
Right.
was
Nobody
The
asked for peanut
synchronicity
gallery.
in that is incredible. Oh my gosh.
The claps. You lost.
This is how serious it gets with the decor, right? So my wife is saying, and it's a Christmas bow. It's it's not a Christmas bow. It's a neutral fall bow.
There you go.
I'm cool with the neutral fall.
Bro, it's gold with red sprinkled in between.
I guess.
How is that neutral fall anything?
Because she said so.
Right. That's about it. That's about it. It's unbelievable.
Viewers, trust me, we're going to talk about football, but this is what makes us unique.
No, this is even better. Lindsay said we should come up with a Thanksgiving song.
Thanksgiving song.
We have to now. We have to now.
Is T-Top
I'll
going
make
to
the
perform
beat.
it?
Huh?
Is T-Top going to perform it? I'll write it, but T-Top got to do it. I'm not rapping
I
it.
don't know about performing it. Maybe we can get the youngsters over here to perform it.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll have them come on the show and knock it out. We got to get that going.
Thanksgiving Day song.
It's gonna be like that Martin episode where they had the studio, word on the street.
Yeah.
What'd you say? How much what?
You get to live.
The same as what we paying y'all right now.
Right. How much do we
Enjoy
get
it
paid?
and be happy.
Jesus, Mary and JoJo.
Pay you guys in information.
I'll pay you in Dogecoin.
So I have another topic,
Okay.
which is more football related.
It's okay.
Did y'all hear that Mr. Tom Brady is under scrutiny?
For what?
So listen. So apparently, I know he has the broadcasting deal, right?
Uh-huh.
So apparently, because he is also a minority owner for the Las Vegas Raiders, apparently because of that, he signed, I don't know if he signed or they had an agreement where when he's broadcasting, this is crazy, he cannot say anything bad about the officials.
Who can't?
Tom Brady. So he's a broadcaster. He's also a minority owner for the Las Vegas Raiders.
You know, it's because he's the owner. He can't do it.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's one because he's the owner and he's broadcasting.
Yeah, because he's technically in the NFL once he's part of it.
Right. So I think because he's broadcasting and he has that outlet, like, hey, while you on air, you can't say. So basically, there was a crucial call made in the Detroit and Packers game.
Okay.
Branch, he hit somebody, he targeted somebody, and they threw him out. Mm-hmm. Not even a warning, just boom, you out of here. And he was like, I don't agree with that. He said, I get it. It's definitely a foul, but the intent has to be there for be egregious to get him thrown out. Like, I don't agree with that. So now they're like, nope, red flag.
Can't say that.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know what the punishment is or I don't know what it is, but he is under scrutiny because he violated part of the agreement that he signed where he said that he cannot, which is like, you a broadcaster, what do you mean you can't talk about the officials? Like, why are they protected? Like, don't get me wrong, for the most part, I've never said blame a whole game on officials. Yes, there have been bad calls made to benefit both teams on the other side. However, it happens. It's part of the game to me.
Right.
It's going to happen. But for you to say you can't say anything bad about them, so they can make a bad call, you can't say nothing. Like,
well, I look at what Kevin Harlan said yesterday when the first play in the Bills game was the personal foul on Rapp. You know, he's like, "What? That's a horrible." He said it. So technically, there has to be some kind of leeway where they can say stuff against the refs or the calls or whatever.
Well, I think that's why they had Tom sign something though, because the announcers are synonymous with media. Right. And media has the freedom of speech in that sense.
Okay, but because he's that minority.
Right, because he's got a minority stake, it's like, wait a second, you can't do both, my man. Like, you got to – I mean, it does make sense from the NFL's perspective. We cannot have someone with inside knowledge, a stake owner in the room with all the other owners. That's essentially the brain of the NFL is those owners. You know what I'm saying? So if he's in there, but he's also got, a job as an analyst, that man, listen, you need to put your name on the dotted line here, bro. You can't be out there just using the media as a cover to blow up whatever you want to blow up.
So now, does that mean that owners can't? Like, for example, like, let's say there's a huge bad call in the Bills game. Terry Pagula can't comment on it. Like, he can't say, I don't think so. I don't like it.
It's more code than written.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They just won't.
That and coaches, coaches get fined for that. So
do they?
Yes.
What?
Oh yeah, that's why Sean McDermott
I did not know that.
Sean McDermott said they asked him about a call or whatever. He was like, I'm not going to get into it for obvious reasons. That's why.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They can flag you or fine you for saying, not flag you, but fine you for saying things against the reffing or whatever. So that's why coaches try to steer clear.
How frustrating must that be though? Yeah, like, bro. These referees are attorneys, judges, agents. You know what I mean? Like all types of well-to-do jobs, trustworthy jobs. You know what I mean? Like, these guys have other jobs. This is not their only job.
Right.
And for these guys to have that kind of protection over something that they should, like, everybody else in the NFL gets scrutinized. If Jerry Jones has to take scrutiny,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Then a freaking referee should be able to take some scrutiny.
That's like they're protected, man.
Right.
Like, you can't mess with the referees. Why not?
That's dumb.
They're humans just like us.
Exactly.
Like, players get scrutinized, coaches get scrutinized, owners get scrutinized, but you can't touch the refs, right? Come on.
I've never heard of a referee getting fired for having a bad track record. And we've seen some refs have bad track records.
Yeah.
But we never hear about them getting fired.
What they do is, you guys can't coach, you can't ref the playoff games or the Super Bowl games.
Right, like that matters. It's just an additional paycheck. It ain't like they get paid more.
We're going to penalize you. Now you can't work the playoffs. Okay.
Right.
Jeez. I'm so
right.
sad.
Billy D says refs should be their only job. What y'all think about that?
I agree. I mean, I always thought that. But with that goes, you have to be a professional at your job. You have to be an expert. I mean, at the highest level, you're an expert. You obviously spots and stuff like that, spot calls, out of bounds. That's too real. But Osiris Torrance yesterday, that wasn't a hold.
Not at all.
Deion Dawkins, definitely not a hold. But you call that a hold and that stands? So if that's your profession, that's your job, those can't happen. Yeah. Things like that cannot occur.
Do you think there should be like a ref certification school?
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
So like the NFL, so should the NFL do it, or should it be like a third-party company that have NFL. These referees, pretty much schools, to teach them how to call calls in the NFL? Does the NFL do it?
Yeah, I mean, we know, military, airlines. What if we ain't do our job the right way?
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah.
And this is minor stuff. I'm in charge of people on a plane. You're in charge of the military. You're in charge. So I mean, what if we just messed up somewhere? Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot at stake there. So I mean, on a small stage where you're talking about these calls and swaying of games, obviously it's not important on a grand scale of things, the grand scheme of things. I'm sorry, but at the same time, you're being paid to do a job. Right. You have to do that job to the best of your ability.
So let's put this in court for a second, because the refs are going to complain and say, well, you guys see the speed of the game. You want us to call everything, right? And I think what the point becomes is, do we want the refs to be subjective in their calls, or do we want them to call everything, right? Because one of the things that my pop has always said is there's holding on every call, or every play, rather.
You really could. They really could. Technically, by the rule, you really could.
Right, but obviously they don't call it on every play. They only call it when the Bills score 2 touchdowns against the Dolphins, apparently. But do we like what do we want to say is the standard for referees? Because in order for us to take this conversation further and for there to be some sort of basis for change, we have to have an idea of what we want that change to look like.
Right. I'll go first. I think it should be substantial to the impact of the game. So, for example, if it's a third down where it's a critical play, if you hold a guy that, like, for example, like on that run, like most times when they call the holding penalties, it's because the person you held was in an opportunity to make the tackle. So that directly affects the play. I would call it there. However, if I'm running to the right and there's maybe I could call a hold on this guy over here, to me, it doesn't affect the play.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make that call.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Or those critical moments where those Chiefs games where it's the last play and it's like, don't make a play that's going to cost the swing of the game. Now, if it's blatant, it's blatant, right? If it's blatant, it's blatant. But, again, if it doesn't have an impact on the play, let them play. Yeah. That's how I look at it, but I don't know if you can do that, if you can standardize impact of the play calls.
You can. You know how? Reducing the number of refs on the field. Because if everybody, if this guy's responsibility is to look right here at all times, obviously you're going to see a hold. You're going to see a pass. You're going to see the defensive. But if they get rid of that guy and all eyes are now on the play that's being played, being made, if you're looking over here, you're not going to see that. You know what I'm saying? So, like on that play with Josh Allen, that wasn't a hold. But the thing was, that was the play side. But the thing is, what is the sky judge's job? McDermott doesn't. You can't challenge those kind of penalties. So what you have to do? What is the sky judge? Sky judge has to say, you know what? What is Dean Blandino's job? What is Gene Stewart's job? They shouldn't be talking to Kevin Harlan and whoever he's with. They should talk to the refs.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is why. That's because your only job was to enforce the law. Your only job was to reinforce what they're calling on the field. So if you're a senior ref or whatever the case may be, your job is to say, you know what? No, that wasn't the case because this.
Right.
You shouldn't be on the TV talking about, this is what I think. No, you should be talking to the refs directly.
Right. I think one of the things that makes the sky judge's job, in my mind, the most desirable position for a ref is the technology advantage. I think I like that point of less refs on the field, more refs on cameras, because if we're talking about, and I think that's a great perspective to have in terms of let's focus on the play. What affects the play? If it's a hold that affects the play, absolutely. But if Keon Coleman is way on the other side of the play and he's holding the mess out of it, doesn't matter. It's not affecting the play at all.
Right.
But to kind of mesh those two together, I think the perfect circumstance would be have more refs on cameras looking at the play that's actually happening. You know what I'm saying? Use the technology that's out there so that everything is not so, well, I was running and out the corner of my eye I saw somebody flop like this, so I hurried up and threw a flag real quick because it looked like holding out the corner of my eye. Right. Like, the game moves so fast in person. Yep. I get that these refs are used to the speed, but it's gotta be more advantageous to see it on camera and have something kind of looking over the play as opposed to trying to look through bodies and everything that's moving all at the same time.
Because when you got cameras that take the guesswork out of it,
right?
You don't have to guess.
It's
right there.
And then they can say, well, hold up, what did you see? Right here, freeze frame.
Right.
This is what I saw.
This is what I saw.
Like when
a replay would be like, okay, you snap, the guy in the field. So the ref wouldn't be doing nothing. All he does is make the calls to the stands. So when he goes to his challenge or whatever the case may be, he would go to the monitor and be like, okay, cut to the field judge's camera.
Yep.
This is why I called it right here.
Yep.
Headset. I'm talking to him directly.
Yep. And they're looking at it.
They're looking at it together.
Technically, he was in, or it was good.
Right. Together.
Make the call. Boom.
That's
After
it.
Review, this is the call.
Where's the technology? See, this is, I have in my notes for later when we talked about the game, but this show is already going crazy. But I mean, the thing is, I had in my notes, why do you ever challenge the spot of a ball? It's subjective. It's all subjective.
Yep.
Yeah.
That should be lasered. It should be lasered measured to some degree.
Yes, there should be some kind of technology. Was it not? Was it shin down? Where was the ball? We shouldn't have to worry about this at this point in the game. If you got all this technology going elsewhere, these pylon cams and this and third, why are we still challenging the spot of the play?
Bob say we could track how fast this dude is running. We can see how many yards he gained.
Out the butt.
We can do all that stuff.
But you can't tell me if he was down or not.
No.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So as far as discipline is concerned, because when I used to work loss prevention, one of the things that we had to do is whenever we caught somebody stealing, you had to be able to show from beginning to end, them going into the department, them taking the item, them concealing the item, them walking past all points of sale, and then you can go and stop. But you had to have all of this on camera, right? And so if you didn't, now there was an internal investigation. What's going on? Why weren't you able to prove what you said you saw?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the addition of technology helps bring about some accountability for the refs, right? Because who was saying, where is it? Sweat says refs should be fined for bad calls or missed calls within eyesight. I think the refs having to prove what they saw, and then if they don't, now there should be some sort of penalty, a fine or something like that. Because listen, these guys already have separate jobs, right? And they're already making money. So whatever money they're making from the NFL should be able to say, you know what? You can't keep doing this. You can't keep missing these kind of calls. We've given you the additional technology to see it on camera. You're going to have to pay up, my man. Yeah. Like, to me, that makes sense. Now, here's to bring about your nickname from what, 2 episodes ago? To play devil's advocate.
Yeah. DA
ref. The problem becomes, how do you get refs to commit to doing this job every year if they feel like, well, if I'm just going to be scrutinized, or if I'm going to have to, lose money over making a bad call in a game that's so fast and blah, 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 like, why do I even want to do this anymore? I you know what I mean? I don't, it's not worth it. It's not fun for me. I don't want to do it. And then it becomes, well, now how do you get refs to stay?
I mean, the thing is, you got to look at it like this. You go back 15 years ago, I don't even know about NFL, but in college, they used to have 2 fouls for face masks. 5 for incidental contact and 15 for grasping.
Like if you grasp,
if you pull and tug, 15. 5 for incidental. They got rid of it. Guess what? Get rid of some of these penalties. Yeah. Get rid of some of them. I mean, you already made the game so that you're adding on top of penalties on top of penalties. You got roughing the quarterbacks. How many different roughing the quarterbacks are there? You got roughing the pass. You got targeting. You got holding. You got offside. You got encroachment. You got false start. You got illegal procedure. Why do you have this many penalties?
Right.
Why do they exist? So my thing is, like, if you get rid of those, you get your refs who are allowed to now police the game in a fashion that they can do it live action. Obviously, you're not going to get every out of bounds right with 2 feet this, because you look at later, if you got 2 heels in, it doesn't count as a toe. You got to get your toe in, you got to get your shin, and you got your butt counts as it's too much.
That's crazy to me, man. Like they were saying, like there was an instance where Mac Hollins said he had a catch called back. He had 2 toes down, but his heels was out of bounds.
His heels was out of bounds because he caught it backwards. Or who was it? Was it? I don't remember who it was, but the catch where he caught it and hopped on his right foot twice.
George Pickens.
Yep.
Incomplete. 2 feet.
2 feet, right?
KJ Hill was like, "Are you kidding me?
Yep.
No, BS. No, it's true."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they literally say if you catch the ball and you hopped
10 feet.
1 foot,
don't matter.
You can hop 5 times.
Yep.
It don't
Yep,
matter. Yep.
Don't matter.
until that foot hits the turf, it's not a catch.
How the
That's
refs
crazy to me.
how the refs supposed to look at this? How the refs supposed to with that kind of nonsense? How the refs supposed to see this?
I think if the NFL wants to see more scoring, and they always do, just make it college rules. 1 foot. Just make it 1 foot. I think that makes the game way easier to call. It takes the guesswork out of all the extra work that these receivers have to do at the NFL level. I'm not saying we need to cater to a player's inability to master getting both feet down, but the speed of the game, the fact that these receivers can be forced out of bounds like that, I don't know of any other way that you can increase scoring, because it's gone down. Let's face it. Scoring has gone down in the NFL, especially this year. You know what I mean? It was up for about 2-3 years when the Bills and the Chiefs were throwing the ball all over the yard, and then defenses figured it out. Too high safety shut all that down, right? So now you want to see it go back up 1 foot. I think that fixes it.
I would love to see 1 foot and force outs.
Would that make it more? Would it make it too easy?
No, not if you got force outs.
I want to see force outs
Yeah,
because KJ they polled. I think South Carolina.
Wait, you mean force outs as in no force outs, or
no force outs? I want to see. Yeah, I want to see, like, for instance, the deal. What was it? 5 or so years ago, where you were allowed to
like hold the player and carry him out of bounds, basically.
Yeah, you got to catch if they thought you could be in bounds.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So back in the day, like you talking like I think 2013, 15, whatever, something like that. So let's say I'm running, I'm catching the ball, I'm jumping in the air.
If they catch me and pass me,
I got the ball in the air. The cornerback could just yeet me right off out of bounds.
right.
And they'll give it to me because it's a force out.
Yeah.
Basically, they're saying if you wouldn't have pushed him out, he would have landed in bounds.
No, I don't like that. I think that would make it too easy.
Well, with
So you
the
think that
1
would make
foot,
it
if you
too
got to
easy?
go 1 foot, I would be cool with 1 foot, not 2 feet.
So 1 foot force out.
1 foot.
So
force
like
out.
if I boom and you push me out, it counts.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you look at the game now, that's what safeties and corners are doing. Like, most receivers are getting 1 foot down. And what happens is they can't get the second foot because the defender's pushing them out.
You know what? Out of all those catches that I've seen, it's always most of the time they do get the 1 foot down.
Right.
It's just the other foot coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're expecting at this level of speed and competition. And speed is the major thing because the NFL game is so much faster than the college game. You're expecting these guys to have such masterful body control that they can jump, catch a ball, contort their body however they need to get two toe tips down or
toe tips, but you
toe tips or a shin or a knee or a forearm or a
cheek.
butt.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
elbow. They over here going nuts right now. You see them? They're like, I don't know how to do it. Like you said butt too many times, dog.
It's too much. To me, it's just too much.
It is too much, and that's the thing. Like you're scrutinizing refs for trying to police the game is what the rules are.
Right.
There's too many freaking rules. Mm-hmm. They wear pads for what? They were, I mean, of course, you got targeting, you got stuff like that, fine. But they're wearing pads for a reason. These are grown men for a reason. A lot of times you have to let certain things go.
Yeah.
And they're not, and we know, I mean, there's data to support what referee crew calls what the most, what referee calls holding the most, what referee calls false pass interference the most. We know this. Yeah. So it's criminal that our Bills go into the game and they get these penalties when there's data out there that you, me, and Mel can access anytime we want.
Couple of quick comments here. Steve says, with advanced technology, the refs should be a supplement to the call. It should focus more on tech than human error. It's 2024. That's a good point. Thomas, what's going on, my man? Billy D says, eyes in the sky don't lie. Mm-hmm. So it looks like we got a lot of people that want us to just get to the heavy stuff. MB41 says, 30-minute segment on refs, dead. I think we have bigger issues than that, specifically at DT, fellas.
They want to get to the meat and the potatoes.
That's what they want. So let me ask you guys this. Defensive tackle, we have Oliver healthy. We have Jones healthy. We have is Jackson healthy? Johnson, sorry.
Yeah, he's healthy.
Johnson is healthy. Anku, so we got 4.
Yeah, we don't
right?
have
Dwayne Carter is on
hurt.
IR.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Fred Smoot is about to go on IR. He's about to have surgery.
Dang.
We're not sure what's going on with Tuhill yet. So we got 4 healthy DTs.
You can call up Zion Logue.
Yes, that's true.
I'm missing somebody, but yeah, I mean we have guys we can put on a DT. No, I'm not sure where the direction of the comment was, but if you listen to what Tyron Johnson said, they did what they wanted to do. That's exactly what they wanted to happen.
Yeah,
they were selling out for the run, and I don't know why. Teams are this team is not worried about zone fits and reads and getting to their spot that they're supposed to be in, but evidently they don't put a priority in that, because we saw it yesterday. They didn't. The run defense was horrible, and it wasn't even a fact of we can't play defense. It was that they didn't want to. They wanted you to throw.
Yeah.
Just gashes for 8, 9, 15 yards if you want to. I don't care. That's fine. It was just asinine to me yesterday.
Yeah, I think to some degree, the mindset for Sean has to be similar to Frazier's bend but don't break methodology, right? From the standpoint of you can run it all down the field, but once you get in the red zone where there's not a lot of space, and now my defense has got a bigger advantage because you're trying to get into a much smaller space than is even available, right? Some of that has to be, that's what I'm looking for. Go ahead and run. Go ahead. You coming deeper and deeper into my spider's web. Now I got you in the red zone. Now what you going to do? Kick a field goal. That's it. Which, I mean, if I'm, and I would never openly volunteer to do this, but if I was to try and defend Sean's decision making, I think that's not a bad strategy if I wanted to never come out of the nickel. I'm not a proponent of the nickel to begin with. I've always said you take what the offense is willing to give in the same way that the offense thinks you take what the defense is willing to give. If you want to go 3 wide on me, I'll probably go dime depending on the down and distance. If it's 3rd down and distance, I'm putting more speed on the field to cover whatever I need to cover. Even if you throw a screen, I got guys that can get to it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's not, nickel is not something you have to do in today's NFL. You just have to be able to play good two deep safety. You know what I mean? So
most of the game yesterday, they were shifting out of a dime formation, or I'm sorry, nickel formation into a 4-3, which is ridiculous because they shifted Tyron Johnson over into the linebacker slot.
Yeah,
it just kept doing it,
and you wonder why he can't play a full season.
Right?
It
didn't make any sense.
That kind of brings me to the run defense point. Like, let's just face it, we don't have the bodies to do it good. We just don't have the personnel. So, like, you can't retool it and say, all right, we're going to get people who can stop the run. It's too late. You got to roll with what you got. So, kind of like when me and Key was talking about the Detroit game, and I probably should have clarified this better. It's not that I think that we can stop the run game. I think, to Sean's point, he wants to put up points. Mm-hmm. So, pretty much, if you outscore them, the run game has to slow down on its own.
Yeah.
Not that you got to stop it. They're just going to stop running because now they got to catch up with you on the points wise. Yep. Is that dangerous? Yes. That's a dangerous way to live. But if you can make it work, you got to do what you got to do, because at this point, there's nothing the Bills can do right now that's going to solidify and make us a top 10 run defense. There's nothing they can do.
Right.
They can't
Even adding Myles Garrett. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Right.
No, so it's like you can hope our offense continues to score points. And that's one thing that I looked at the stats. The Bills are top 10 in offense and top 10 in takeaways. That's what you want. Mm. The good teams do that.
Yep.
They score points and they take away stuff. So if you can do that, it may get you far. But again, are we going to get in trouble where we're in the playoffs, where when the game matters and we can't stop the run and it kills us? That's the problem.
Yeah, I think so. This is the one thing we have to keep in mind. Part of the reason we harp so much on defense and wanting the defense to be stalwart is because that's the identity of our head coach, and that's what he's prioritized. Mm-hmm. I think if we had an offensive-minded head coach and he focused on offense, I think we would kind of complain about defense, but we would understand, like, this team is trying to win with offense. They're not trying to win with defense. But because we have a head coach that's trying to win games with defense and wants to focus on great defensive fundamentals and stopping teams and keeping teams, scores down and stuff like that, it's a much bigger conversation for us because he's not successful in the ways that we've seen a Baltimore defense be successful, or the ways that we've seen a 49ers defense be successful, or heck, even the way a Lions defense this season has been successful. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this would even be a conversation if we didn't have a guy that was solely focused on winning with his defense.
Yeah, I don't think defensive tackle in the fashion that we're talking about is the biggest issue. The biggest issue is this defense. No, maybe, but it's the defense's inability to stop running backs. Mm-hmm. Our defense is first in yards allowed by running backs in the pass game, and they're third in touchdowns allowed to running backs. So I'm sorry, let me back up. They're third in yards. They're first in receptions by running backs. Oh, okay. This team allows running backs to do whatever they want to them every week.
So it's like they don't respect running backs.
They don't
only
care.
Respect tight ends and wide receivers.
They respect wide receivers, even in tight ends. They're third against tight ends, third worst against tight ends. This defense is deficient. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, everybody wants to jump on the usual suspects. They jump on Hamlin. They jump on Rapp. They jump on I jumped on what's his name, Rasul Douglas. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, there's more than just 4 people on this team. Right. There's more than 4 that is playing against any given opponents every week. And what do you do to stop them? You have to make them throw, but you have to allow for the fact that you don't want a team to just run on you. I don't want you to run. I want you to be dominated. I'm not going to give you anything. The Bills for years under McDermott have said, I'm going to allow you to do this. Going back to Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's 200-yard game, well, we did what we got what we wanted because he got 20 yards, but they didn't pass on us. Who cares? You still lost.
Right.
The point is, if you're going to dominate, you're going to dominate. If you run up there with the minutes you have on your team and you trust in them, and you think that they're going to win you a Super Bowl or a championship, you can't just say, I'm going to allow you to run. You did what I wanted you to do, and you almost lost to the Dolphins.
Right. Leak says, how is it the linebackers' fault if RBs are averaging 3 to 4 yards per carry before contact? That screams DT more than anything.
Yes and no. Yes and no. In the scheme of our defense, yes. But what does that tell you? That tells you linebackers have wrong gap fits.
Right. Because
they're not hitting the holes they're supposed to hit.
Because if they open up a hole, it's because the offensive line pushed it open, right? So in theory, what he's saying is you don't want the D tackle to give up that hole.
Right.
At the same time, if the hole is open, who's supposed to close it?
The linebacker's supposed to fit.
Exactly.
So it's like a both. Like I do see his point. If we had bigger body D tackles, the holes wouldn't be open so easily.
Exactly.
But if our linebackers would run up and clog those holes, they wouldn't get those yardage either.
Yeah, right. That was a knock on Tremaine Edmonds. I mean, he did not know how to run defend. So, you pick up 2 more guys that are small guys. I mean, Fascio, he's little. Dorian Williams, he just doesn't know how to fill a hole. He doesn't know how to do it. We've seen it. Yeah. In passing and in the run game. I mean, when he makes a play, he makes a play. He's got athleticism, but it's just his philosophy is wrong. So, in order to fix the run game, it's not just the D tackles. The D tackles are supposed to allow for a hole to open for the linebacker to fill.
Right.
But their job, they win if I say I need the B gap opened up, and they get that B gap opened up. Guess what? They won. Even though you don't see it looking at it on TV, if that's their responsibility to clog that A gap or whatever the case may be, and it's clogged, they won. Yeah. Now it's the second level in order to get into that gap.
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to this because the Bills' defense is built to stop the pass. That's why, as Kevin said, we are too light on period. We are too light period on defense because they want to stop the pass. They don't really want to focus on stopping the run. But here's the issue with that. I think as a concept, the NFL does not want teams focusing on defense.
Right.
What they want is scoring. They want exciting offense. They want big boom plays whenever a good quarterback has the ball. And the problem with that is the owners, when they go to interview for head coaches, most of the time the guys that come across as very disciplined and very regimented and organized people are the defensive minded guys, right? The offensive guys are typically the more creatives, the more fluid guys who are dreamers and think things up and want to work out ways to beat defenses. They're not typically the organized, orchestrated type of guy. So they don't do well in those types of interviews. And I'm just talking about from a personality, mentality perspective, right? So what does that mean? That means you end up with more defensive minded guys, or more guys who are not offensively specialized. And so you end up with these situations where, listen, we don't have the quarterback, we don't have the offense to go toe to toe with these guys. We got to figure out how to stop them. To me, that's the biggest problem in all this, is teams focusing on defense, period. If the Chiefs showed you that they can win a Super Bowl with the 26th ranked defense, then who cares whether or not you can stop the run or the pass? They got takeaways with that 26th ranked defense. Why? Because they had a friggin' great, all-time great defensive coordinator that knew when it was third down, I know how to draw something up to get you out of your zone. Yeah. I know how to draw something up to make your quarterback uncomfortable. Never mind how many yards y'all threw on my team for. Never mind the 200 yards that we gave up to Gabe Davis. Who won the game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So to that point, hey, I was going to bring up this point. How can I say this? We definitely know that it's an issue with the Bills' run defense, that we don't like it. But is it a big enough issue to stop the Bills from winning a championship? What I mean by that is, for example, while I'm talking, Kiki, you pull up who has the best run defense right now in the NFL.
Okay.
So basically, I think it's Tampa.
So what I'm saying is, they might have the number one pass defense, number one rush defense. Mm-hmm. Are they winning games? Right. At the end of the day, can they win the games? Because, like you said, with the Kansas City Chiefs, does it matter that they run defense suck,
right,
or they pass defense suck? Because at the end of the day, what's more important? Do y'all want to see good? Y'all want to see the Bills play good games where they keep the score lows and they stop them? They pretty much bully the opponent, or do you want them to win the game?
Right.
As nasty as it looks or it sees, that's what we talking about is wins. At the end of the game, whoever got the most points wins the game. Yep. So I don't know. Like, I don't like to see the Bills get ran over every week. I really don't. But at the same time, we getting W's.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't know. Like, what would y'all rather have?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because the title of this episode is what type of wins do Bills fans prefer? You know what I mean? Do you prefer the blowouts? Do you prefer, like, the nail biters are always fun in the stadium because it's everybody's on their toes and everybody's cheering and it's loud the whole time. But I've always been strong in the position of I want it to be over by halftime. I don't want to be first and foremost.
You just want to coast and just enjoy your food and just like, this game is easy.
Think about it. How many injuries would we get if it's over by halftime? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If we just score 40 points in the first half, how hard are teams going to try in the second half? Not that hard. Which means you can put your backups out there. Yeah. If you can put your backups out there, let them get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Save it for the playoffs. Yeah. Like, to me, that's why I was saying, like, I think the focus on defense is the problem in general. If the Bills, if Sean McDermott, I think somebody in the chat said this, if Sean McDermott would just stop focusing on trying to control the offense, period, mm-hmm. I think Brady could really do some innovative things with the offense and maybe make Curtis Samuel a viable option. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they're playing this pro style offense where everything is efficient throws and everything is low risk throws for Josh Allen and all that kind of stuff, That is what brings the scores down. If you're limiting the times that you throw the ball, you're limiting the times for big plays, you're limiting the opportunities for yards and scores. And that's what Josh is designed to do. Like, that's the foundation of his person is to throw the ball all over the yard. So you've essentially, like, what you've done is you found a way to take Brett Favre and turn him into Tom Brady, essentially.
I think Josh has some liability to that too. You know, and the fact that the guys that he wants, the guys that he wants to throw the ball to, that he has them go out and get, are not guys that cater to what he should be able to do. You know, Khalil Shakir, that's fine, but yeah, I'm gonna say it. Keon Coleman, what you've been doing is great. But that's not the cap to what you should be able to do. MVS, I'm sure you can eat pasta with the best of them, but that's not the cap for what you should be able to do. I mean, Josh, you need to really be, if you're a scout, if you're a guy that wants to go out there and see what's out there and what works with you, you're striking out right now because you're letting these guys talk you into lesser. You're letting them talk you into less than, because that's what they want. They want this offense, and it doesn't work. It doesn't fit. You know, people, when we talk, let's say I text you about, you know, everybody, this is why we have Cooper. No. Because I went back and watched it. There was guys open all over the place downfield. Yeah. But guess what? He's now conditioned Cook. I saw a play where Khalil Shakir was wide open.
He threw it to
15, 18 yards down the field. He dumped it off to Cook. I'm like, what the hell was that? Keon Coleman went screaming down the street.
He hit him.
Didn't even look at him.
Don't risk it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
didn't even look at him.
They conditioned this man to just don't take the risky throw.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason Josh Allen should have this many yards thrown right now. He should have 6-7 interceptions right now, but he should have more touchdowns. He should have more yards. Yeah. I mean, I don't care. I don't care what I got to sacrifice. If I got to sacrifice his completion percentage, who cares?
Yep. Right.
Who cares? Lamar Jackson is now the number one for MVP again. So
basically, you're saying you don't care about the stats. You want the big wins, or you just want the wins, period?
The stats come. If Josh is now taking what they're giving. Miami said, we want you to take the short stuff. Yeah. They said, we want you to win with the dink and dunks. And guess what? He played right into it. He played into it to the point where he didn't even look at Shakir down the middle. He didn't look at Coleman streaming down the seam. He didn't look at Kincaid. Kincaid went 4 of 10. 4 of 10.
He had 10 targets?
10 targets, 4 receptions. Guess who was 100% again? Mac Hollins. Oh, Maxwell Hollins is what I'm calling him. Defeats.
Maxwell.
Defeats. Had 5 for 5 for 30 yards. Wow. Khalil Shakir had another efficient day. But the thing is, you're not getting what this offense can do because everybody's like, oh, yeah, we don't want turnover. We want to. Guess what? Josh Allen could have easily had 400 yards yesterday. Easily had 400 yards.
They were playing zone. That game was
not a question. They were playing zone.
All day long.
Horrible zone.
Right.
Horrible zone.
Right.
I mean, it shouldn't even been that close. It shouldn't have been that close. It shouldn't have came out of my boy Bass. I'm glad it did because Bass-matic.
Yo, can we talk about that for a minute, man?
I think that's what the thumbnail is.
Let me ask y'all a question. Does this save his job?
Yes.
Because this is why I asked the question. We talked about when they added the new dude to the other dude to the practice squad. Mm-hmm. Bass has not missed a field goal since. And technically, he still has not. He missed the extra point, but not a field goal.
True.
He's been 100% money on field goals ever since he came and they got rid of this dude. Now, I'm not going to lie. When the decision came down, I'm looking, Christine was like, oh, I'm like, man, we on the logo. That's too far. Mm-hmm. Right. My thought was, he don't have a leg. Like, I thought it was going to die out. I'm like, he ain't got the leg for that.
No, he got the leg. He got the accuracy.
So I'm looking I'm like, man, this is about to go to overtime. He ain't going to make this. And, yo, when he hit it, I'm like, like, you know how when the camera hit and soon as it went up, I'm like, oh, that's in.
That thing was nasty.
Yeah. I'm like, that's in there.
That thing was nasty.
You know what's really funny about that, though? Did you listen to Sean's post-game press conference?
I did.
Did you hear when he was talking about, well, I had faith in Bass and I just, I wanted to give him the opportunity to, go out and show everybody, whatever he was saying. But he was putting so much love and so much, he was gushing over Bass and all that, right? But I had to really think about it for a second because I know Sean better than that. You didn't trust Bass that much. If you really think about it, this is what got me. He was getting gashed all game long on defense. In that moment, I think he was more worried about going to overtime than he was missing a field goal. And that's why he went for the field goal try, because the other side of that is, I don't got to worry. If we miss this field goal, do I really have to worry about Tua throwing a Hail Mary? No. Not at all. No. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So it was kind of a checkmate sort of move and an easy way out to and not saying that, putting Bass out there for a game winner is an easy way out. It's a 61-yard field goal. But what's the other option? Going to overtime. Right. Now, we've seen Sean play for overtime. Yeah. We've seen him do it.
You mean the Philly game last year?
Yeah. Right. And that's exactly what I thought about. I'm like, wait a second. This is different. Yeah. No, this can't be. I know Sean. This can't be because he's turned a leaf. It can't be. And when I figured it out, I was like, but here he is in the press conference, gushing over Baz, giving him all the love, talking about how much faith he had in him. Yeah. No, you was just trying to save your behind, because if you went to overtime and lost to the Dolphins, if they got the ball first, they were going to score. It was pretty much whoever had the ball was going to score in the second half. That's what it was, unless you got a turnover, and we happened to get one, which is the only reason we won that game.
Right. So did you see the post game speech like in the locker room?
I did not.
So.
Why are they crying about that?
Yo, Bass got teary-eyed. Bass got teary-eyed.
I heard it, yeah.
Josh was crying too on the sideline.
Josh was crying too?
On the sideline before they went inside.
When I saw it, I saw Bass, and he let him have words, and he was just like, man, you could feel that he wanted to do it for the team. Not for himself, but for the team. Because, think about it, kickers, your job is people need to count on you. Like, because think about it. And I'm not dissing kickers or nothing like that, but how much of the game do they really play? You know what I'm saying? They kick off the ball and then they go on the sideline. Mm-hmm. They watch the offense, they watch the defense.
Yep.
So like in his mind, whenever they need you, you should go out there and do it and perform. Like they should be able to count on you. Yeah. And the fact that he made it and they counted him, like to me, I think it's gonna boost his confidence going on. Like going forward, it's gonna boost his confidence. But 61, bro. I did not think he was going to hit that ball, man. I really think he was going to do it.
That's the longest.
Against the wind, too. He's going into the wind.
Clutch game, like we saw him miss clutch game field goals. And now you made one?
The longest kick in High Ralph Rich Stadium.
That's in the Bills joint period?
The longest ever.
Wow.
Steve Christie attempted, huh? Yeah, nobody in Ralph High Rich Stadium has kicked it. Not even opponents.
Really?
Yeah. Steve Christie had a 65-yard attempt. I remember that, honestly.
Was it
I think was Harrison Butker. He attempted it was like a 62 or 63. He missed it. But this the longest make in the stadium's history.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I really like this comment. Steve says these wins that wash the mistakes are the ones that will bite us in the playoffs. Remember these little things. That's how we'll be eliminated, and it's on the coach and GM. I ultimately everything reflects on the coach and GM, but I do agree 100% with the point of, I mean, Locked Rain said it. This game should never, ever have been that close. A bunch of people in the chat have said this game should never be. And I remember saying, I don't know if I put it in our text, but this game had no business being this close. With the way that we destroyed this team before Tua even got hurt. Like, let's keep in mind, the only reason that Tua was trying to scramble and trying to bully DeMar Hamlin by hitting him in the chest was to try and breathe some life into his team, because they were getting blown away in that game. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think this win, for those people who just want to enjoy the wins, they just want to enjoy the rah-rah and enjoy the fun of getting the W, and like there's a reason the national media is not talking about us right now. They're not. I've been watching.
They is on Good Morning Football.
Well, yeah, that's because the one dude's got a connection. But I mean, I anything on FS1, they're not talking about us. You know what I'm saying? Like they're talking about the Ravens, they're talking about the Eagles, they're talking about the Cowboys being terrible. They like
that's fun though.
No, right. But
Cowboys is fun.
My point in saying all that is these wins that we're getting are not that impressive. They're not. You know what I mean? What's the only team that we've beaten that was over 500 was the Seahawks before we beat them. Now they're not.
Yeah.
You know, so it's frustrating. I do see this as something that can. Let me ask you guys this: if the Bills had Brian Daboll here with the 2020-2021 offense, where Sean McDermott was being kicked out of the room every time, and Daboll was just running it how he wanted to run it, and the Bills were throwing it all over the yard, and we were scoring 30 points a game. Well, I think it was like 33, 34 points a game or something like that at that point. But would you guys be worried about what the defense gave up yesterday if we were throwing it all over the yard like we used to?
See, that's the thing. What I said before the show last time we did this, I said it all comes to tempo. And when I text you guys and you said you had doubts, and I said, come on, I said, what did I say? At 149, cool as a cucumber. I said they gonna win, but they're starting slow again. I said, wait till the second half when they realize that they're a better team and they'll win this game. I mean, I never had a point in this game where I was like, oh, man, I'm scared. I was never worried about it. But at the same time, it was like, yo, this is, he turned the hat around. But at the same point.
It's the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
The fight.
I mean, I looked at the game. I'm like, this isn't what's supposed to happen. I know we're going to win this because we're better than them. But I'm waiting for it to happen. This is taking too long.
Yeah. I'm going to the DA mode.
Yes, I love it.
Feel free to send all the hate, all the arrows, all the darts. I can take all the smoke.
You can't because they were with you.
I'm a big boy. I can take all the smoke. So listen, like I said, I do agree our run game was terrible, and we should have played a lot better. However, let's not act people like this wasn't a divisional game. Division games are tough. I don't care if you're a really good team and a really bad team. It's still tough. Case in point, I hate to bring this up, but Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, that 20 years that stood over us like a bad cloud, I can remember, honestly, I can remember one team that could go toe-to-toe with them. That was the Drew Bledsoe Bills, where we had Tequila Spikes, London Fletcher, Peerless Price, and them boys. That, to me, them boys could go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Yep.
Y'all tell me, was there another Bills team that could go toe-to-toe with the Patriots and Tom Brady? Tom Brady and the Patriots, not when he was out.
I mean, we beat him in 2011, but that's an anomaly. That was why Fitz was screaming like a little girl because, and that's he really was. I don't care if you hear the sound bite.
Tom Brady threw like 5 interceptions in that game, or no, it was like 3.
It was
like
ridiculous.
3, yeah.
So my point is, we shouldn't even. We had no chance in those games, but there's a couple of games where it went down to the last play.
Right.
We talk about the Leotis McKelvin, Monday Night Football. We had the Patriots, Tom Brady and the Patriots. We shouldn't have been that. They had Randy Moss and everything. We should not have been that close because they were way better than us. But look how we played.
Right.
So I'm not giving the Bills a pass and saying it's cool, but I'm just saying it's the reality of the thing. Like, division games are going to be tough. Like, you look at the Giants and the Commanders. The Giants are voodoo Jews. Dookie Jews. I tried to mix Dookie and Booty together.
they voodoo juice.
Dude, they suck.
Yeah.
But they almost beat the Commanders. Yeah. Why? Because it's a division game.
I mean, the Raiders have beaten the Chiefs before.
That's what I'm saying. So matter of fact, Arizona beat San Francisco.
You see them twice.
I'm not like I said, I'm not giving the Bills off the hook and saying that, oh well, it's not a big deal, but it's let's come back to reality. It's a division game. It's a division game for a reason. These games matter for a reason. These games are important for a reason. So, the Bills are on paper way better than the Dolphins, but it's a division game.
So let me ask you this, though, to your point, and this is an honest question. If the Bills and the Dolphins are a divisional rival and it's a tougher game, was I wrong in saying that I had no fears, even though it was a close game?
Nope. You want to know why you ain't had no fears? Because you trusted Josh Allen and the Bills over Tua and the Miami Dolphins.
That's where I was going, because I'm thinking where I'm getting at with this is also we had a plan. it was ugly, but did we went on the run? We went on the run. Why? Because we know we can stop the run. We got something.
They ran for 150 yards.
Well, I mean, not stop in terms of
outscore
the run.
That we can
outscore the run. I'll say.
Stop the run from taking over the game.
In terms of outscore the run, we can outscore the run. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And I know we don't like that, but
we can hold Tyreek to whatever he had. I think yesterday was one of the better games against.
It absolutely was.
Until the fourth quarter, we had him. Until the fourth quarter.
But see, that's the thing. I'm looking at like, okay, I see your point now. I mean, like I said, I never panic. I never, at 1 minute of that game, panic. I did get worried because me and Ken had to go to my mom's house for her birthday, and I was like, it might be overtime, dog. You might want to take the pants off. We're going to be here for a little bit.
We ain't going nowhere.
We're going to win. But you take the pants off. You can go there. By the way, happy birthday, Mom. I know it was yesterday, but I want to say
happy birthday, Mom. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Right. Wait, where's the clapper thing I got? Here it goes.
There it is.
Happy birthday.
Hey. But no, it was a calm that I had yesterday. I was watching it. I'm like, okay, this isn't looking right. This isn't looking good. But I still feel okay about this. Yeah. I feel good. I never, for 1 second, said we weren't going 7-2 after that game. There was no way.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all know my man Bubba Dub. Bubba Dub is a famous Cowboys fan, and he is fed up with the Cowboys. He's fed up. He said, I saw he had a video. He took the jersey. He threw it in the trash. He said, it's a wrap. Do you know Bubba Dub was in the house Sunday? Full Bills gear. Let's go, Bills. Like, he said he's a true fan. Like, he said, man, I got to get used to winning. I'm not used to this. I got to get used to the winning.
Well, you saw Dak Prescott on the sideline. He mouthed out, we effing suck.
Yeah.
Like, you part of it, dog. You part of it.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like, again, to me, I've still got the same expectations from week one. Like, we're going to win a division, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
It depends who we see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I see us we're good until we get to KC.
Yeah.
That's the culminating match. Like, nothing else matters. Let's be honest. Nothing else matters but the playoffs and Chiefs. That's all that matters.
The crazy part, though, is I would rather see the Chiefs in the playoffs than to see the Ravens right now.
Yes, I was going to say Baltimore and the Chiefs,
because so much of the Ravens' identity is scoring with the run
to beat against us.
Yeah, 100%. And they use that run to branch out into so many different things that it becomes impossible to stop. I mean, look at Lamar Jackson has had 5 games in a row with a passer rating of over 100. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen without a consistency in excellence on offense. Yeah. And when you've fixed the offensive line like they fixed the offensive line, and you're able to now run it down people's throats, and there's nothing that they can do but choke on it and die, essentially, because you got Flowers on the outside, and now they went and traded for Deontay Johnson. And then, oh, by the way, whenever Likely wants to catch a deep pass and Mark Andrews is still alive there. Yeah. And then, listen, I didn't even mention Lamar Jackson running the ball himself. Yeah. So it becomes an identity matchup where the Bills are just not designed to beat that team. Yeah, they've designed themselves to stop the Chiefs, and the Chiefs went ahead and changed and evolved. Like everything in the NFL right now is evolving to strong run games and play action and the deep pass coming off of play action. That's how people have been setting up these big plays. But if the Bills are going to continue to build themselves as this big pass that you're not going to get 60-yard passes on us, I'd rather give up a 60-yard pass knowing that at the end of the game, I've only given up 200 yards rather than to say, well, we only gave up 100 yards passing, but we gave up 300 yards rushing. Right. Like, that's stupid to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember that 2003 defense that we used to have. Nobody was getting anything on us. Nobody.
It's a mentality.
Right. Right. But what boggles my mind is you see all these teams around us year in and year out. I mean, literally, the Ravens defense went from being number 1 in the league out of nowhere last year. Like, nobody looked at that team and said, oh, they're about to be number 1 in the league until they were. and nobody could do anything against that defense. Look at how hard Mahomes had to struggle against that team. We've not seen Mahomes struggle against us like that. Now, he did execute in the playoffs. He made plays and stuff like that. But whenever Mahomes is playing us, wide open plays, guys wide open, coverage, broken coverages and all types of stuff that makes it look like we just got fooled and we're not good. We're not talented enough. I'm tired of seeing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, for me, we got to evolve.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't want to stay stagnant. That's how we keep losing in the divisional round.
Right.
Staying stagnant. I mean, you show everybody your best points every year. You know, you have these like somebody said, you have these trademark wins here. These Seattle wins, these Miami overcoming of resilience, and then the Bills hang their hat on it and they don't do anything different. Like, it's like, okay, we got out of that one, but we got to go back to the drawing board. No, we want to go in and we want to talk about all these things that we did great and all these things that we overcame and all these things that made it work, as opposed to me wanting to say, you know what, we still need to add a piece or two to get to the promised land. Because like you said, the Lions, if I can get in a shootout with Jared Goff, thank you. But like you said, the Ravens, I get a shoot. I mean, Lamar Jackson can get you 400 yards, whether it's in the air and on the ground. How he can get you that money. Yeah. You know, Derrick Henry when Lamar Jackson's off. That is a scary team right now, and we've already seen them once, and we saw what they do to us.
Exactly.
You know,
for some reason though, I'm not worried about them if I see them in the playoffs. Man.
I want to be like you. I want to be like you.
I'm not worried about them in the playoffs, man.
What is this? Locked Rain said Bills Mafia Facebook page started a conspiracy theory about PowerPoint purposefully helped Bills win.
Poyer, I think it's Poyer. It's got to be Poyer.
Poyer. Oh,
it's got to be Poyer.
Poyer helped the Bills win.
Yeah, with that
hit.
That's the winning hit.
Maybe.
You know what's funny?
They were like, "Hey, Poe, fourth quarter."
He like, say less, fam.
I got you,
fam.
Say less.
I think I tweeted out before that, like halftime-ish. I said, what would y'all do? Would y'all accept Jordan Poyer coming back and retiring as a Bill? You know, like a one-day contract retiring like Thurman Thomas did.
Yeah.
He's got to, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he played the majority of his career here anyway.
And his best years were here.
Yeah.
He's got to.
Absolutely.
He gave us all pro after pro. And the thing, let's talk about Poyer for a second. Poyer, I don't know where people would get the notion that Poyer was never a hitter. Poyer was a hitter.
Who said that?
People were saying that.
He was a hitter well before he could cover.
That's the point.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, Poyer forgot that he's old now. I'm not as fast. So, yes, it was tardy. Yes, he launched into Keon Coleman. Yes, it was a dirty play. But at the same time, how many of you guys out there are former athletes that can't do what you thought you used to be able to do? I raised my hand because I can tell you right now, I used to be able to dunk. Now, nah. But I still, in my mind, think I can, and I will try it. I will sprain both my calves.
You 6'7", dog. What do you mean you can't? Anybody?
Fam.
You can dunk.
I'm 6'7", 40 years old, and almost 300 pounds.
Can I just say something real quick?
My gravity's off.
I was watching Greg Rousseau chase down Jalen Waddle.
Right.
And you know what occurred to me?
What?
That's exactly how I felt when we played basketball against Keyshawn. It's like, just why are you so large? Damn, get off of me. Like, watching Waddle run away from Greg Rousseau was like he was just scared. Like, he was looking behind him and said, like, you're so much faster than the guy. Just run. All you gotta do is run full speed and you get away from him. But because Greg Rousseau 6'7" behind, just coming up on him, I'm gonna get that ball.
Yeah.
It's scary, bro. Right.
I got you.
It's scary, bro.
That's the thing. Like, when I saw Poyer come across the field, that reminded me of what he did in Buffalo all those years. Come across the field and make a play. He made the play, but the play was just a little. The integrity was a little off.
Yeah, I am a little worried about Keon though, because they said his arm is hurt.
It's not broken.
Forearm.
It's not broken.
Yeah,
it's not broken. They're testing for ligaments now.
Okay. You think he'll be out for multiple weeks? The reason why I say this
could be.
I would be worried, even though Kincaid, Cook, Shakir, if Coleman and Cooper's off.
Can you add another name?
Who?
You know whose name to add. Maxwell.
Oh,
you got to, dude. Okay, let me put this in context. Matt Collins is 10 receptions on 12 targets. Out of those 10 receptions, guess what? Almost, I think it's 7 of them are first downs.
Dang.
That's Josh Allen's guy.
Is he like a older, cheaper Gabe Davis?
yes. He's a slightly better route runner than Gabe Davis.
Like Gabe Davis was known for blocking. Matt Collins can block. Like he's good for a touchdown or two. Like is he a cheaper, better Gabe Davis?
Yeah, I would say so.
He's got 3 scores in the season on 12 targets. I mean, a quarter of his targets are touchdowns, and if you figure more than half, I think 65% of his targets are first downs. Yeah. Josh looks for him. There's a point where you can see Josh doesn't give a damn about Curtis Samuel no more. He don't look for him.
Yeah, but I think to some degree that's because when he's on the field, nobody respects him, so they just kind of leave him because they're focused on getting Shakir covered, getting Kincaid covered, getting the seam covered, and then whoever else is opposite Matt Collins' side. You know what I'm saying? But if Matt Collins becomes the best option, I think it's going to go back to what we saw earlier in the season where he just can't get open.
Like, dude, listen, no Cooper and no Coleman, I don't like that.
That's a problem.
I don't like that.
Yeah. So do you guys call up somebody? Do you trust somebody we have on the practice squad, maybe Shavers, or do we trade for somebody else?
At that point, honestly, your best bet is to call either Shavers or KJ Hamler up. That's all you got. Because we still got Shakir, but again, you're taking off. Now everybody's going to be keen on him because I'm sure they're not worried about Mac Hollins or Curtis Samuel because they haven't been doing anything. So I would call up Hamler or Shavers, maybe even both. If Cooper and Coleman can't go. Yeah. But I don't know. That kind of worries me. We
got a Dorothy Hunter sighting in the chat. Holy cow. She always comes to the comments after the show, never during the show.
I'm going to get roasted. Yeah. But no, the thing is this. You're missing one name that I don't understand why people aren't bringing up. He was here already. Where is he? The injury settlement got to be up by now.
Oh, Claypool.
Where the hell
is
Claypool?
Steve, I'm going to give Steve credit. Steve, the whole time, has been hitting me up on Facebook Messenger. He's been saying Claypool, the whole time.
Where's he at right now? He not on the team?
He on the couch somewhere.
The way injury settlements work, they can't disclose what the settlement is. Mm-hmm. So it's for a certain amount of weeks. Mm-hmm. After those weeks subside, he can sign back with the Bills. We just don't know how long it has to be.
I tell you what, not even seeing him playing in the Bills uniform, he'd probably be better than Hollins and Samuel right now.
Okay, watch your damn mouth. Watch your damn mouth.
I'm sorry, Maxwell, but
put some respect on his name.
I mean, just from previous years of what I've seen him play, I haven't seen him in the Bills uniform yet, play, but I think he could contribute if he comes back.
Think about it like this: the fear of the unknown. Not for us,
right? For
them,
right?
If Claypool's out there, we know what he could have done back in the day,
right? He might go back to his Steelers days.
Yeah, is he still that dude?
He's still young too.
Yeah, he's only 25, 26.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. I don't understand why they don't bring him back and at least hold him on the practice squad, for some period of time.
And Hamler needs to be called up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Y-Towns King says, oh, my gosh. Got to sneeze.
Do it.
I'm going to try to get
it. Do it. That was it?
That's all y'all going to get.
Man, that's trash.
Why is it trash?
It didn't have the oomph.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to.
Yes.
Why am I getting cheered on for this stuff? White Towns King says that Poyer hit was clean to me. No matter how much they try to clean this game from head-to-head hits, you can't make a tackle without head.
Okay, let me address that.
Back in the day, that would have been clean.
Let me address that. This isn't Stingley. This is a Night Train Lane. Now, this is the only thing that I will say about Poyer. Poyer left his feet. He launched into him.
Okay.
I don't care about the helmet to helmet.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
When you launch into him, that's where you're gonna get got.
If he would have extended and bend, and
if you'd have bust him up, like,
yeah,
I'd have been like, I don't care. Yeah. I think, what was it? Dorothy said that he's excommunicated from the mafia now.
That's what she said. What do you think about that? Should he be?
Yo,
he hurt Keon.
So listen, I've heard people like at my job that was like, Poyer was cool with me. Like after the first hit in the first Miami game, they was like, he's done to me now.
Oh, Shakir?
Like, yeah, he's done to me. So I don't know. Like, those are hits, but again, did he do it on purpose? It's like not to hurt him, but to help the Bills out. Like, hey, clearly I couldn't win you the chip when I was with you. Maybe I can help you in the division.
That's not a trade-off. That's not a trade-off I want, though, Poyer. Like, I understand you're trying to help me, but not that way. You know what I mean?
No, No, not that. But I do see where Poyer was trying to make a football play.
Yeah.
What have you been taught? I play defense. Separate man from ball.
Yep.
Right.
I've been beat.
Especially at a safety, like,
Yeah.
that's what you want to play.
But see, this is the damning part about this. Let me draw this back. Why do people hate Hamlin so much? He's soft. Right or wrong? He's soft.
I mean,
he bails.
He basically ended Tua's career almost. Or his chest did. I mean, this magical chest.
The thing is, people hate. They say DeMar Hamlin's trash because he's never aggressive. We got to see Poyer. We got to see Hyde for 7 years. What were they? Aggressive. So you want that kind of play,
right?
But when the guy that did it for you and the guy that you want your safety to be modeled after does it, you don't like it so much.
That's a good point.
Hamlin had 10 tackles yesterday. He was in on everything. I think 11 with an assist. But the point is, if you watch the defense, and I want people to have all 22 access, watch all 22. Watch what all of the defensive backs do before the play. They bail. All of them bail. None of them stick up on the line.
Yep.
That's what they're supposed to do. So if you're gonna damn somebody for something they're supposed to do, know what they're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. That's my point. And that goes for rap too. I'm not a rap fan, but the point is he's told to bail. If you execute your assignment, guess what? You won. You won.
Let me see. Sal says got wrapped for helmet hit when the back lowered his head and initiated contact.
Fam. They said rap. He had the toadstool on. He had the toe. How do you lower? You're not lowering your head with the toadstool on.
Wait, can I ask y'all about the toadstool real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Should we just make the helmets bigger just have everybody wear the toadstool?
That's like the fat hats they have.
Yeah. Like why even have an add-on that you got to clip onto the helmet and stuff? Just make the helmet safer.
That's
make
what
it bigger.
Bad. The toadstool got unstrapped. He got hit. His toadstool was off. And he took out a penalty. How does that happen?
Oh, my strap. Oh.
He got like, yo, what's happening with it? All these little black clips and stuff is off.
I mean, because it adds added protection, right? So you're saying just put the added protection in the helmet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, instead
how
of
heavy the toadstool got to be, though?
Because, like,
be
the fact that they're wearing these painted cloth coverings over their helmet that's supposed to look like a helmet. Bro, just make the helmets better. It makes no sense to me. Like stuff like that is just asinine. I forgive my language, but it's like we want safety, but we don't actually want safety because we want to look cool. We want the the speed and stuff like that. And here's the other part of that too, that I can see the NFL using as justification. Well, if we made everything safer, the players would just hit each other harder. They would just throw their bodies around more. Like what? You gotta pick and choose your poison. Do you want to deal with I mean Tua's for sure already got CTE. The dude dyeing his hair and everything like that. Like it's ridiculous right now.
Got the double arm sleeve.
Right.
Tua
but I don't know. I don't want to get into that whole conversation.
Got the toes. A-Chain got the toadstool. I'm like, yo, come on now.
Everybody rocking that.
They rocking the toadstool. Yeah. I'm like,
Sal says the kazoo helmets don't really help. Did studies.
I mean,
because think about it. It's literally like a cloth that goes over. Like, so yeah, it adds maybe a little bit of cushion, but is that really saving the head? Because like you think about it, you're inside the helmet. If you get hit, your brain is still gonna move around in the skull.
It's probably some down feathers in there.
It's probably just gonna lessen the blow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's added an extra layer of protection, but I agree with A. If it's not in the helmet,
I want to know the technology behind that neck strap that Dalton Kincaid wears.
I see a lot of tight ends
they
wearing
wear those, but I just want to know the science behind it.
Dalton Schultz wears one. Who else wears one? I think I've seen Cooper Kupp wearing one too. But
doesn't one of our tight ends got he showed up on an injury report, but he practiced fully. A collarbone?
Quentin.
Somebody got a collarbone.
It was Quentin Morris, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Quentin Morris?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought maybe he was wearing it for that, but
I don't even know what I don't know.
Oh wow. Mafia said Kelso had a bigger helmet when he played.
Oh, Kelso's joint. Oh, he had
Kelso helmet.
He had a toadstool. He just had a mushroom.
He had the whole shroom.
He had the whole shroom.
Wow.
Yeah, his joint was like You ever seen a bad bowl cut, like a bowl cut on an afro?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
You could tell his helmet was just like if you ever pull up an old Mark Kelso, his helmet
I need
was
to see
I'm gonna do it. No, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna do it right now. Watch this.
All right, please.
You go ahead and talk while you fill in the silence.
Kelso.
Fill in the silence because you need to see this.
Oh my gosh! All right, so
I can't believe you've never seen it before. I can't wait.
So
I can't wait.
let's ask the question then, because I don't think we really got a chance to like really address the question. What type of wins do you guys prefer?
To me, at the Whoa.
What is that?
Whoa.
What is that? He had a double shell. What? It's a shell on top of a shell.
That's like a fat head.
This is a safety, son. Look at this. That's a safety.
Yo, he came to work.
Man.
That's why he been a radio. I'm like, yo, he was a true dude.
Hey, he was a hitter too,
Yeah, he
bro.
was.
I mean, that explains why. If I had a whole extra missile on top of my head, I'm gonna fire off on these boys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this was like inside. I can't. It won't even. Okay,
it's like that foam
it's like
on
foam.
the.
Yeah. You put like an extra cap of foam.
I can see it
on
clearer
there.
in a smaller picture. That's crazy though.
Yeah.
He had the whole mushroom though.
It's still tough.
Wow.
That's the full shroom.
That's incredible.
Well, to answer your question, I think me, I just want the wins, dog. I just want the W's. I don't care how they look. I don't care how we get them. I just want the wins.
No, you see this on your screen?
Oh, is that real?
No, it's not real.
I was about to say.
With the Drew Bledsoe face mask on it.
Oh man, that's great. Anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying they're gonna have. It can be some ugly ones. They're gonna be some good ones. But as long as we get the W's, that's all. At the end of the day, that's the name of the game, man.
Yeah. So somebody in the chat said, I think it was Leak that said, winning by a field goal. That's the way that the Chiefs win games too. I like the point. I think the only issue I have with it is we won like that against, and I'm not trying to take away from the divisional point, but we won like that against a 2-5 team. And granted, they were 2-5 because their quarterback was hurt, and they came into this game with a vengeance, and they were trying to prove something. And I heard the story about Tua, waking up at 3 a.m. because he couldn't sleep and going and studying extra with Mike McDaniel, all the way up until it was time to get up and start getting ready. But the teams that we've played this season and the ways that we've beaten the really bad teams and then the teams that we've struggled with, I don't know. It really speaks to a team that is still trying to find itself, a team that is still looking for answers, and a team that isn't really sure how it wants to win. I mean, if you design a defense that specializes in stopping one dimension of the game of football, and you expect that to be how you win games, I'd have to question your IQ. But when you combine that with an all-time great quarterback that doesn't have consistent weapons, and really the only consistent thing about this offense all season has been the run game, which came out of nowhere, it becomes you have a team that is trying to win with a defense that's not built to be the reason why a team wins, and you have a run game that's good but not great enough to just be leaned on to win you the game.
Can we talk about the run game? What was that? What was that? I mean, I'm not even going to say him, boy. James Cook, he had 10 carries for 44 yards. He was averaging 3.4 yards after contact. So he was running through people. Ray Davis, he carried the ball 4 times. 4. 5 a carry. 3.75 after contact. Ty Johnson, 3 carries. 7.7 a carry. 2.45 after contact. The pass game wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Don't you think you should maybe go at least 20 carries between the 3 of them? I mean, it was egregiously bad how they utilized the run game. It was working.
Yeah,
I don't know. I got to really delve into why James Cook's runs look so hard all the time when Ray Davis and
it does
Ty
look
Johnson.
Easier for them.
It does. I'm like, I gotta when all 22 comes out, I want to watch the line on his blocks versus the rest of them, because it's like sometimes he hits that hole and he's going on the right side. He was averaging 5 a carry. Yeah. But on the left side, nothing. I'm sorry. On the left side, he was averaging 5 a carry. On the right side, nothing.
Right.
I think maybe I think he prefers a side over the other one because like you can tell the numbers are it tells that he's do better on one side than the other. But yeah, I was looking at that too. I'm like, yo, we not doing bad in the run game. Like, why they not doing it more? But one thing I noticed too, like I know, like I said, I didn't like the run game and how it looked, but do you know we only punted one time in that game?
I loved it. I loved the
So
punt.
for everybody can say, oh man, bro, we punted one time in 4 quarters.
Damn, special teams get a gold star. Special teams gets a gold star for yesterday. 5.5 second hang time.
Oh yeah, that was a great punt.
I mean, it's a beautiful point. Cam Lewis right under it.
Yeah.
Codrington, great return on the lone punt he had. I mean, come on, Tyler Bass. I mean, the special teams
won the game.
They did their part.
Yeah. So to put it in perspective, with all the yards and just like blah blah blah, would you want your team to punt 4 or 5 times a game, or would you rather give up the yards and punt once?
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, we scored, 30 points yesterday?
And honestly, we really had 2 more touchdowns they took back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that they could stop us. Oh, you guys can't score against us. Yeah, we could. It's just our defense, the run game was opening up more holes and we let up more points than what we normally give up.
Yeah. But to Keyshawn's point though, I really would have liked to see the Bills notice, hey, when we run the ball, they giving it up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can take them for the run game the whole way and just use that until they have to change. You know what I mean? I don't. It's weird. I don't know if Sean enjoys manipulating a team in what could possibly feel like a disrespectful way. You know what I'm saying? Because so much of his character goes into the way that he coaches the team and stuff like that. He wants to win an honest game. He wants to win a good competition. He wants to, and that's nice. But when you think about the concept of, I'm just going to keep kicking you in the shin until you can't walk, and then I'm going to, come at you and attack. That's what people in the UFC do. Yeah. Like, the knee kick is so prevalent now in the UFC. They just make it so you can't move, and then they come after you. Yeah. But that's not how – it seems like that's not how Sean wants to win games. He wants to keep it honest. Bruh, if you running and you getting, 5 yards a carry damn near, I think they were getting, 4.8, 4.9 yards a carry or something like that, which was more than what the Dolphins were getting. Keep going until they show they can stop it. Mm-hmm. And if they can't, guess what? You score 30 points with the run game.
I definitely agree with that. Like, if it's working, why stop? But part of me wants to say I think the reason why is I don't think Josh likes that.
Oh, of course he doesn't like that. But handing the ball off 30 times a game?
So do you say, Josh, you got to suck it up, bro. This is winning. This is making us efficient. Like, this is working. We're going to keep running it. Or do you Josh don't like it, we got to get out of it. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's hard. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's hard because he's the franchise guy. You want him to be happy. But, I mean, if you've already got him to buy into playing this super efficient style of football with 14 touchdowns and 1 interception or 2 interceptions on the season, I'm sorry. Why not take it that all the way? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got one more point.
What's up?
Does this mean that Josh really is trying to win the MVP?
What do you mean? Because he's checking out of.
So like to that point, clearly the run game was working.
Yeah,
4 point. I just did the math. 4.9 is what we averaged yesterday.
Honestly, if they would have ran the ball 3 times in a row, they probably would have got a first down, right? Consecutively.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my thought is Josh like deliberately vying for an MVP, like trying to win the MVP, like, hey, we want to. Can I pass the ball? Like, can I run the? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, when I first from listening to his conversations, it seemed like he doesn't care about it, but the actions don't match. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're because think about it, if you're a good quarterback, you're an elite quarterback. Like I've said it before, like with the Lions game. Jared Goff had like 80-something yards. He just ran the ball. Like, he didn't care. Like, whatever, I'm just going to run the ball.
Yeah.
But, like, to Josh, it's like, do you think it matters a little bit? Because you're looking at his competition, Mahomes and Jackson. They keep comparing them.
Yep.
They all have MVPs. One got Super Bowl rings. You have neither. So
Yeah.
do you like, well, at least I want to get an MVP. Like, I'm trying, like, he's not throwing interceptions. Like, I don't know. Maybe in his mind, this is his shot.
Yeah. Well, if I have to analyze the situation, I would say this. And this is just my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be me reading into it a little bit too much, but I think to some degree this is Josh playing the game that Sean set up.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are playing the exact style of football that Sean wants to see. Efficient. The defense is playing the way he wants them to play with the pieces they have, obviously. And everything is very controlled and fundamentals and discipline and all that kind of stuff. I think in Josh's mind, fine. You want me to dial it back? I'm going to dial it back. But if we don't win this year, playing the exact way that you want to play, well, now I got to start speaking up. Now I got to start, just playing my own brand like I was trying to, because that's the only other excuse that exists in the world is, well, Josh never tried to buy in 100% into what Sean wanted. And seeing what Josh is doing now, I mean, Josh has said he doesn't care about the MVP. Honestly, I think I believe him when he says that.
I do too.
Just knowing how much he wants to win a Super Bowl. I think that for him, it's about the rings. It's not about anything else but the rings. Knowing what he saw in Tom Brady in New England and what he saw Tom Brady do for Tampa Bay, like that's where he's trying to go, to the top every single year. And he's had to watch. You know what? I heard, and I'm not trying to change the topic, but just to make a point about Mahomes really quick. I heard Alex Smith talking about the playbook in Kansas City when Andy Reid first came over, right? He said he went from a complicated playbook in San Fran and so many different things to learn, and it was just complex. But when he got with Andy Reid, everything was very simple. The reads were obvious. Everything was very clear and direct, and it was just one read, two read, three read, ball out, easy, right? I don't think Josh has that in this offense. I mean, you hear the players talk about how difficult it is to pick up the offense. Amari Cooper still hasn't picked it up, and it's been 2 weeks. Or was about to be 3. How long do we expect Cooper to take to pick up the offense, at least his position? You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, I think it's more of Josh trying to give Sean what Sean wants than it is Josh focused on trying to get the MVP, because at the end of the day, there's no reason why this team doesn't have 2 Super Bowls already. I mean,
even beating the Chiefs,
even beating if
90s Bulls, man.
If the Bills had any kind of sense in the 2020 season when they went to the AFC Championship game, they would have made a move before the trade deadline to get something in there besides Steph Diggs and besides Cole Beasley. Either get a better running back, but I mean, at the same time, Daboll wasn't really using running backs. But John Brown was hurt. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, you had a number 1 and number 2, but you didn't have another guy on the other side of the field taking attention away from the middle or the side. It was too easy for the Chiefs to make plays on our offense, right? Yeah. So if they were smart, they would have done something to take advantage of the direction that they were going in. But because they were trying to build the team a certain way, because they were trying to stay on this trajectory plan of being a perennial playoff team and all that kind of stuff, they didn't. And the same thing for 2021, right? 2021 that's 13 seconds, right? It's 2021?
What's that?
The 13 seconds game was 2021?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. So to me, those were the 2 times where it was like, yo, if you had done what you're supposed to do, you got 2 Super Bowl appearances at least. I'll just say appearances, right? 2021, I don't think there was anybody in the NFC that was going to beat us, right? So we would at least have 1 Super Bowl win, 2 Super Bowl appearances, in my opinion. Yeah. But again, that's a very long way of saying I don't think Josh really is worried about the MVP as opposed to a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Josh. Honestly, I think Josh is in it for fun too. I don't think that I think he wants to win, obviously, but I think for him is more than money, is more than MVP, more than accolades. He wants to be out there having fun. He wants to make the wild plays. He wants to go throw the ball 80 yards down the field, like like we know what he can do.
He could do that when he had Dayball.
He could. He could.
It's funny because I think what you said is kind of I agree with you somewhat when you say how that's how Sean would like to do it. Mm-hmm. But like you said, when Dayball was there, Sean was still there, but Josh seemed different. Like he was balling with Dayball, so like
because Dayball was able to like yeah, Sean, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
so you think it? So,
well, that was reported. Like that was in the Tyler Dunn report.
I'm more looking at. Do you think? And it may be because of Sean, but do you think that what do you think the relationship is between Josh and Brady?
Joe Brady?
Yeah. Do you think like is it part Brady's offensive scheme, or you think because this is what McDermott wants him to do, or like is a combination because same coach, different offensive coordinator, and Josh was performing way better?
You ever had a cool supervisor at a job?
Yes.
And his boss was a dick, but but your direct supervisor was cool.
Yeah.
I think that's the relationship between Josh and Brady, where Brady is kind of forced to run the offense with Sean's approval in a sense, and whenever Sean is not around, Brady and Josh are like, all right, we got to figure out a way to make this work. We got to, you know what I mean? Like, what can we do to still do what he's talking about, but get our flavor in there and do something that's gonna actually work. You know what I'm saying?
And then Daboll was the guy who was like, hey, I don't care what this guy wants. This is what we're gonna run.
Exactly. That's what it was. And I think what the offense experienced at that point was they could go to Daboll and give their input, and Daboll was all for it. Daboll was like, whatever it takes to make this thing run the way we all want it to run and be great, fine. And then Sean would come in, well, we need to run the ball more. Bruh, just chill out.
He's like, run, whatever.
You know what I mean?
Anyway.
And I think Josh loved that because Josh had somebody that backed him up in a sense. You know what I mean? Because if you're the quarterback and you're hearing from the head coach either during games or after games or before or in private, you got to stop throwing interceptions. But then you go to the offensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator's like, man, don't worry about what he's talking about, man. We got this. We got this. That was Daboll. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why Josh loved him so much. So
it all makes sense. I mean,
and it makes sense too because if you ever hear Daboll talk about Josh, he loved that dude.
100%.
He'll take him right now.
I think Josh's personality, a lot of coaches would love to see. Josh is the kind of guy that you got to protect.
Yes,
that's the thing about Josh. Josh is not gonna if he doesn't have somebody, a big brother, all the talent in the world, all the accolades, all the God-given ability is going to waste because he's not going to speak up and say, you know what, F that. I'm not doing that.
Yep.
What you hear now is alert, alert, alert. That's the extent of what you're going to hear from him. Alert. You're not going to hear him muckraking the front office. You're not going to hear him Aaron Rodgers it. You're not going to hear him Tom Brady's it. You're not going to hear him do any of that stuff because he's going to, at the end of the day, say, all right, whatever's best for the team. But if this ain't best for the team, I don't think he's going to speak up. And he hasn't proven he will yet, even though he should. He has all the gums. Well, he has all the chits in his pocket that say, this is my team.
Right.
We've told him, this is your team. The Bills players have told him, this is your team. Sean McDermott has so far said, even without saying it, this is your team. But Josh don't get the message. Because you ever had a deal where, I have because you've talked to Ken, but you ever had a deal where you tell your kids something, they use it against you later? Like, damn,
all the time.
Right. Yes. That's Josh.
Remember what you said I could do, blah, blah, blah?
Right.
You
Time to pay.
You're right. I did say that. Okay, whatever. But see, Josh has 1 million of those. I bet you. I'll put money on it. He has 1 million of those experiences, but he won't cash in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, all right. So the game itself. What about this game were the biggest takeaways for you guys? And let's just start with going into next week. What were the biggest takeaways from this game for you guys?
Mine was I'm worried about our players being healthy. Like, are we gonna have a Cooper and Keon for next week's game?
Okay.
Like, are we gonna have that? And it scares me, man. Them two not being on the field, it scares me.
I don't know enough about the coach to worry about that, but this is what I am worried about. I'm worried about the fact that they can't control the tempo. I'm worried about the fact that they don't command the game. The Bills, the last 2 weeks, Seattle, they started fast. Mm-hmm. They came out there and they made their presence known immediately. Yesterday, like I text you guys, I'm not worried. They're going to figure it out at halftime. I shouldn't have to send that text. Because the thing is, if you know who you are and you know what your game plan is, Miami didn't dominate nothing. They allowed you to screw yourself.
Yeah.
Because the Bills had plays all over the field, but they didn't make them. And what I need from a playoff contending team, a championship caliber team, is make those plays. Because how many throws did Josh leave on the field yesterday? He didn't play great.
Yeah.
He had Kincaid, he missed low, 2 times in a row? Then later on in the game, 2 more times, whatever the case may be. Keon Coleman, that first throw that was like to no man, that was a Kincaid. Even the announcer said, I think it was a Coleman. No, it was a Kincaid. But it was nowhere near him.
So one of the things that Greg Cosell has talked about with Josh Allen in terms of like his probably his biggest flaw right now is he comes off of reads too fast. And what that means is if I know I've got my X receiver running a comeback route and the ball is snapped and that's supposed to be my first read, if I see the cornerback having correct leverage on that play, I'm not even going to give my receiver enough time to see if he can shake the coverage off to get space on that comeback. I'm coming off that read, and I'm on it. As soon as I see the corner in position, nope, that ain't going to work out. I'm going to 2.
I think that's what burned me the most about the first interception last week. We argued about it a little bit, but if you look at this, I went back and watched it. You look at the setup. Josh is surveying the field. He's looking. Yeah. The cornerback, he demonstrated inside leverage. Like, he literally, like, when Josh said, the dude moved over again inside. So that tells me, dead.
Right.
I'm not going there.
Exactly.
And like, whether Cooper made the cut or not, that cornerback knew, I'm not letting you inside. Yeah. And so when Josh threw it to the inside shoulder of the cornerback, I was like, that's why I was like, that's the bad throw. But people say it wasn't on him. But to me, I'm still like.
So it probably wasn't the correct read, even though he tried to force it. It feels like he tried to force it in there. Yeah. But it was a bad read.
But like A said he said that was probably his only read. He said that was probably the quick read. Boom. Yeah. 1, 2 out. And my point is, when he showed, like, normally they'll switch to it after the snap. He stood there. He lined up in the inside. So it's like, okay, I got to do something different before I even snap the ball. Right. Yeah. So that's the thing that got me about that throw. Do I blame him? No. You got to get that out of you. You got to get out of you. It's got to happen. Right. The one in Keon, it has to happen. Yeah. But that's on Keon. He's got to know better.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was at church, when I was looking at the ESPN, and I saw, we marching down the field, and I looked away, and I'm like, interception. It said intended to Keon. I'm like, I was just talking about how doo-doo Ramsey was. Yeah. Don't tell me he had locked up Keon and made the interception. Nah. Then when I went home, I saw that he had him beat. He just bobbed. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was about to say, yeah, what happened?
It's a timing thing, and I think that's Keon is still getting acclimated to the timing of the offense on certain routes, but that'll come with time. You know what I mean? I think honestly, what concerns me the most now is why Josh is so fast with his reads.
Like, because why don't you just let him get open or let it develop? Like, you just
right, exactly.
He's not open, I got to go.
Because to me, it can't be. We've seen Josh sit back there and be patient. Mm-hmm. So it can't be. He refuses to be patient. I think to some degree, he gets a feel for the flow of the game throughout the game early on, and gets a quick understanding of just how much his offensive line can take. You know what I'm saying? And I think because he's broken out so much, this is why I always argue about the people saying the offensive line is great this year. They've been really good at run blocking, but I've seen a lot of games, and even in this Dolphins game, where that defensive line had no business getting the kind of pressure they were getting on Josh.
Chop was getting that, Deion. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I mean? Like Sal Capaccio was talking about how much the Dolphins blitzed. I mean, yeah, but they weren't doing it every single down, and they were still getting pressure on Josh. So I think some of this is Josh getting a feel for my offensive line can't hold on as long as I need to be able to make sure this guy can't get open before I move on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that makes a big difference when you look at the guys like Geno Smith or Jared Goff, who Jared Goff is killing it, right? And every first half now you see the guy 12 for 12, 15 for 15, 18 for 18. You know what I'm saying? He's not missing passes. Why? Because he's got an offensive line that he trusts and that gives him the time to do that kind of stuff.
You know what the crazy part is? He target Amon-Ra early and often. Like, he don't care. Like, the ball going to Amon-Ra. Yup, sure is. You can't stop it. Like, I think he has a record of consecutive attempts. Like, targets to one receiver, he keeps throwing it to him. Like, I'm going to Amon-Ra. Like, he can say it. Amon-Ra's getting the ball. Watch this. Like, I feel like he can do that. Like, you're right. Like, he rarely has a incompletion. Yeah. Like, he's just that proficient. I think maybe that's a good point you brought up. Maybe Josh is like, oh, crap, I don't have time to wait for him because my offensive line is like, But in his mind, I think that's what it is. But like me and Keith said, there has been times where he can step up and trust a little bit more. Yeah. But I think he's so worried because he's been playing with this team a long time. He knows what they're good at. He knows what they're not good at. Mm-hmm. I think, to your point, I think it has a lot to do with it. Like, I don't have time because who knows who's going to come and get me. And I'm going to have to run.
There's two more parts to this, too, that I want to get to really quick, and then we can start to.
He's not getting fired.
You're right. So the second part is the offensive scheme is supposed to, like Alex Smith said, and that's part of the reason why I brought it up, was to bring out the offensive scheme is supposed to make the reads easy for Josh too. It can't always be Josh sitting back there and dissecting everything mentally and picking the right guy and throwing the ball. It should feel like a seamless flow from ball snap to ball throw and placement. And if you even if you don't have elite talent, you should still have a scheme that makes the read itself easy. Yeah. And I don't think we have that with this offense. I think based on what Sean wants and what Brady's trying to accommodate and build in order to still be successful while giving Sean what he wants, I think it's bless you. I think it's a matter of Josh having a difficult time with a non-quarterback friendly scheme in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Obviously they want to try to make things as easy as they can, but it's tough to do that when you're trying to run an offense that's built on efficiency. And the third part of this is Josh has always been a scrambling quarterback. Mm-hmm. If you're so used to, for all your years, breaking out and making the defense break down because now they're worried about you scrambling or throwing, whatever, that's always going to be in the back of your mind. Mm-hmm. That's always going to be a tendency of, man, he ain't there, bless you again. He ain't there, I got to make something happen. Let me go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes read, nope. All right, I got to make something happen. You know what I mean? And so I think it's threefold in this process of trying to get Josh to play the, and I hate saying it this way, but it's threefold why we can't see Josh play the way that Mahomes plays. And not that their offense is so great, but I'm talking about in the golden age of Chiefs offense where, Mahomes could just run and he can throw the ball to whoever, and it seemed like everybody was open no matter what because the offense is schemed that way. It makes it so easy for him where you don't have to think, he could just react. You know what I'm saying? And so much of what's put on Josh's shoulders, like it is still literally the whole world on Josh's shoulders right now. Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I think people talk about the personnel, and I think the damning part is when we went to the training camp and all that, and we saw the offense. Mm-hmm. We couldn't identify the go-to guy. I don't care how good he is. There was Shakir. There was no go-to guy. Keon Coleman. There was no go-to guy. There was no semblance of who is going to be Josh's guy. And what we know about Josh is he latches on to one person. He identifies a person. Everybody talks about Diggs at third. He latched on to Diggs early and often. Early in his career, he latched on and said, "This is my guy. As long as he's in Buffalo, I know he's going to be open." Just what they saying on the broadcast. Just throw the ball up. He's open somewhere down there. That's what they used to say.
Yep.
Who is that now? And for Josh, if he doesn't have a guy that he can identify as that, then he's not going to be the Josh that people love. He's not going to be the guy that people are identifying Josh to be. And it has no bearings on who they bring in. It has no bearings on who they have on the team already. It has to do with Josh. Josh has to develop a rapport. That's why when we did the preseason game against Pittsburgh and he sat out, that's why it was a big deal. Because he obviously was telling you, I don't have a rapport with anybody. I need to develop one. He knew it.
Right.
So I'm not going to hold him accountable for it because he knew I'm not where I need to be with these guys. I'm not playing in the third game. So we got to do something now.
Right.
And the thing, I think Kevin said earlier, or no, maybe it was Steve, that Tua actually outplayed Josh in the game. He kind of did. Josh got the W, but Steve got Steve. Tua got the spoils. He walks out saying I missed on 3 passes.
Right.
I had a higher quarterback rating. I had less time to throw. I didn't hit the guys that you thought I was going to hit. I hit everybody. I had A-Chain. I had Mostert. I had Wright. I had all these guys doing what I needed them to do. Jonnu Smith, who, by the way, you never ever talk about Buffalo wings again in life. I put it on me. You're from Philly. Jim's Steakout has better steak hoagies than Philly. Okay.
Yeah, I have to say I've tried Philly's.
They're not.
Yeah,
they're not that.
They're not all
they're not
that.
that.
Really not.
And Jim's ain't even a hood spot.
Yeah,
Jim's is just Jim's,
Yeah.
and it's better than what you can get in Philly.
Yeah.
So stop. You talking about and what Chris Jones say? He said, "Yo, you wildin'." He said, "Bar Bills is it." And Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs said this. Let's stop. Jonnu, you know what? You've been trashed wherever you've been. You were trash, and you had a good season or so in Tennessee, and then you went to, was it New England?
Yep.
Don't know about you, and now you're there, and you had 5 catches for 46 yards. Congratulations, Jonnu. Trash.
Yep. Any last comments before we get out of here?
I cannot end the show without giving props to the reverse hurdle by Saquon Barkley.
Yo,
I can't do it, man.
the ninja hop, bro.
What?
That's
It
what
really
I'm
was.
calling it. The ninja hop.
It was a
He
reverse.
jumped over him backwards. He even looked at him. He just went.
It was reverse. What was that? What was that? The booty bump from wrestling? Remember back? Who was?
Oh no! Who did that? Somebody on Streets of Rage did that. Didn't they? The wrestler? I think
Max.
Max. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, he booty bumped dudes like that. Yeah, I don't know why they had him do that, but yeah, he threw his backside at him.
Yeah, and lastly, we want to definitely, we have to pay homage to the late great Quincy Jones.
Yes.
How'd you forget that?
Wow.
Yes.
Quincy
91
Jones.
years old. Died on
always
Mom's
good
birthday. That's crazy.
on the musical, man. He always with them.
Oh yeah. Easy.
I mean, you talking about Q's juke joint. You talking about Secret Guard. You talking about We Are the World. You talking about Rashida Jones' dad. You had was it Saturday Night Live? She on there or whatever she was on. I mean, so yeah, definitely that's a huge rest in peace.
now you see why he gets all the old man jokes. Just saying.
That's why me and Roy are we here.
Right, you and Roy for sure.
We here. Sal, you next. You told me how old you were. You next.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sal,
This
me and
your
you,
boy
brother.
right here, Sal.
You
That's
and me,
your
brother.
boy. All right, you lined up?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let me see here. Bang, here we go.
All right. You know what? My mouth is really dry right now.
Is it?
It's very dry.
What you need,
I've
bro?
been swigging on this water. It ain't really quenching my thirst.
Nah, that ain't
I
gonna
wish I
hit.
had some Reed's tea though. If I had that Reed's tea, it's one part refreshing, one part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what you can expect when there are only 4. Yes, 4 ingredients. I don't even drink tea, but guess what? That's a good drink there. What are you doing? Head on over to Reed's Tea. Get your supply by the case or by individual. Why should you get the individual? Get the case. You won't be disappointed. Trust me. But what do I know? See for yourself. Reed's Tea. Click the link in the description. Use the code DO and let them know who sent you.
All right, Post Podium family, listen. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us on this episode. But there's 2 things I need you to do first. Before you get out of here, please hit that like and subscribe button. And maybe a third thing, you can hit that bell and make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
so you can get notifications when we send notifications like... I think Mac is not going to be with us on Friday.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It hurts already.
That's not the one I was like.
It hurts already.
Okay.
Because he gonna be doing a hula. He gonna be. How many of them lays you gonna be coming back with?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what.
You about to get laid, my boy.
whoa, easy there, kid.
Aloha Mac is coming back.
Aloha.
You know what's funny about this? Yo, you know what's funny about this? Max Jr. Max stood up. You understand? When you got to plane, they put lays on you. They say you got laid. That's what it means. Nothing more, nothing less.
We know that ain't what you was talking about.
You too.
We know that's not what you was talking about. Don't try and play.
No, it was
like that's what you meant.
It was like, yo.
Man, okay.
Hold up.
Let's ask the man. Did you think that's what he meant? You thought he meant flowers?
I thought he meant the lays.
You covering for the man. Stop it. Stop it.
He knows I'm pure at heart. He knows I'm pure
I know
at
how
heart.
to answer questions.
You about to get laid, my boy.
I should have known. All right. Huh?
Yo, the kids are revolting. What is
Right. They had enough. Oh my gosh. All right, listen, we got to get out of here. This has been Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mac.
And keep the party going after the party in the comments. Find our social. This is 40 Keys. See you later.
No doubt. Listen, me and Key are going on Mafia Sports Talk at 9 p.m. So if y'all want to see more of us, you can check us out there. We'll be there. All right. Y'all have a great night. Peace.
Deuces.
Peace out.